Ever wondered which restaurant chains actually deliver on their promises? Today, we're cutting through the hype to give you the truth about America's biggest chains. We're not talking about clever marketing or childhood memories here. This is about real food quality, actual service, and whether you'll walk away feeling satisfied or scammed. Some chains have completely lost their way, serving reheated disappointment while banking on brand recognition. Others, they've quietly perfected their craft. Our rankings are based on consistency, taste, value, and that crucial question, how do you feel after eating there? No sugarcoating, no corporate influence, just honest evaluation. Warning, some of these results will completely flip your assumptions. Beloved chains might crash and burn, while unexpected winners claim the top spots. Ready to discover which restaurants deserve your money and which ones are coasting on reputation alone? Let's dive in. 10. Red Lobster. When biscuits became the main course, Red Lobster once represented something magical for middle-class America. It was the place where landlocked families could taste the ocean without driving to the coast, where special occasions called for those iconic red and white checkered tablecloths. But somewhere between the promises of fresh seafood and reality, Red Lobster lost its way completely. Walk into any Red Lobster today, and the first thing that hits you isn't the aroma of butter-poached lobster or grilled salmon. It's the overwhelming scent of those infamous Cheddar Bay biscuits. These warm, cheesy, garlic-laden rolls have become the restaurant's saving grace, and its most damning indictment. People drive to Red Lobster specifically for free biscuits, treating the actual seafood as an afterthought. When your breadbasket outshines your specialty, you've got serious problems. The seafood itself tells a heartbreaking story of decline. Lobster tails arrive rubbery and flavorless, clearly frozen and reheated multiple times before reaching your plate. The shrimp scampi, once a signature dish, now tastes like it was prepared in a microwave rather than sautéed with fresh garlic and white wine. Even the endless crab legs promotion, designed to showcase the restaurant's seafood prowess, leaves diners cracking shells for disappointingly small portions of meat that lacks any oceanic freshness. Perhaps most insulting of all are the prices. Diners in Kansas pay the same premium rates as those in coastal Maine, despite receiving seafood that's been frozen, shipped cross-country, and reheated. The nautical decor, complete with fake ship wheels and plastic anchors, only emphasizes how far removed you are from any actual ocean. Red Lobster transformed from a middle-class luxury into an expensive disappointment, propped up by complimentary carbs. 9. Zol, the sandwich shop that forgot about sandwiches. Subway built an empire on a simple promise: fresh ingredients, custom sandwiches, and healthier fast food options. Their sandwich artists would craft your meal while you watched, selecting from rows of colorful vegetables and premium meats. That vision has crumbled faster than their infamous bread controversy. The foundation of any sandwich is its bread, and Subway's became international news for all the wrong reasons. Irish courts ruled that Subway's bread contained so much sugar it couldn't legally be classified as bread. This wasn't just a technicality, it revealed how far the chain had drifted from authentic sandwich making. The bread is now more dessert than foundation, overly sweet and artificially enhanced. But the bread is just the beginning of Subway's problems. Those fresh vegetables that once looked so appealing behind the glass have become a sad display of wilted lettuce, flavorless tomatoes that somehow taste like water and sadness combined, and cucumbers with the texture of rubber. The deli meats are sliced so thin they're practically transparent, and recent scandals questioned whether their tuna actually contained identifiable tuna DNA. The build-your-own concept, once empowering, now feels like a way for Subway to shift responsibility. If your sandwich disappoints, they can blame your ingredient choices rather than their quality control. This strategy has created wildly inconsistent experiences across locations. One Subway might deliver a decent meal while another serves something you'll regret before finishing. Despite having more locations worldwide than McDonald's, Subway's expansion couldn't hide its decline. The chain that promised to help America eat fresh instead delivered a masterclass in how good marketing can disguise mediocre execution. Subway didn't just lose its way, it forgot what made sandwiches worth eating in the first place. 8. Applebee's, the restaurant nobody really chooses. Applebee's occupies a unique space in American dining. It's the restaurant you end up at rather than choose. Whether you're in a small town with limited options, or it's the only place still serving food after 10 p.m., Applebee's becomes your default rather than your destination. The atmosphere immediately signals what you're in for, a confused mixture of nostalgia that never quite lands. License plates from every state clutter the walls alongside faded sports memorabilia and black and white photos of people nobody recognizes. It's meant to feel like your neighborhood hangout, but instead resembles a themed restaurant that forgot its theme halfway through decorating. The food reality is even more sobering. Much of Applebee's menu arrives frozen and gets reheated rather than cooked fresh. Those attractive grill marks on your chicken breast? Often they're printed on before the meat even reaches the restaurant. The pasta dishes maintain suspicious consistency across all locations because they're prepared in central facilities and reheated on site. It's efficient, cost-effective, and completely soul-crushing for anyone hoping for fresh cooking. However, Applebee's has found its redemption in an unlikely place: late-night half-price appetizers. When the sun goes down and the prices drop, suddenly those mozzarella sticks, buffalo wings, and loaded potato skins start making sense. Not because they're exceptional, but because they're exactly what you need: salty, indulgent, and cheap. It's survival dining rather than fine cuisine. But sometimes survival dining hits the spot. Applebee's has mastered the art of aggressive mediocrity. Nothing is terrible enough to boycott. Nothing is good enough to crave. You'll leave full and satisfied that you didn't overpay, but you won't remember what you ordered by next week. For a chain that bills itself as your neighborhood grill and bar, that's both its greatest strength and most damning weakness. 7. Domino's, the phoenix of pizza chains. Domino's deserves recognition, not for always being great, but for achieving something almost unprecedented in corporate America: admitting they were terrible and actually fixing it. For years, Domino's was the punchline of pizza jokes. Their crust tasted like cardboard, their sauce was oddly sour, and their cheese resembled plastic more than dairy. Then, in a move that shocked the industry, Domino's went public with their failures. They launched advertising campaigns acknowledging their pizza was bad, featuring real customer complaints and promising complete reformulation. This wasn't subtle rebranding, it was corporate humility on a massive scale. The transformation was remarkable. They rebuilt their crust with garlic seasoning and improved texture, redesigned their sauce with richer tomato flavor, and upgraded to cheese that actually melted and stretched like real mozzarella. Customers noticed immediately, and sales reflected the change. But Domino's didn't stop with recipe improvements. They revolutionized pizza delivery itself. Their order tracking system transformed a mundane transaction into an engaging experience, showing exactly when your pizza entered the oven, came out, and left for delivery. One-tap ordering made reordering effortless. They experimented with delivery innovations that seemed like science fiction: autonomous vehicles, drone delivery, and even delivery to parks and beaches without traditional addresses. Today's Domino's isn't gourmet pizza, and it doesn't pretend to be. You won't mistake it for an authentic New York slice or artisanal Neapolitan pie. But in the world of national pizza chains, Domino's earned respect through honest self-assessment and genuine improvement. When you need pizza delivered quickly, hot, and predictably good, Domino's delivers exactly what it promises. That reliability, built on a foundation of acknowledged failure and systematic improvement, makes Domino's a rare corporate success story in an industry full of declining giants. 6. Olive Garden, when comfort beats authenticity every time. Olive Garden occupies a fascinating position in American dining culture. It's not Italian food, not even close, but it's something arguably more powerful: American comfort food disguised as a Mediterranean vacation. When families across the country say "let's have Italian tonight," they're rarely thinking about authentic carbonara made with eggs and guanciale. They're thinking about Olive Garden's endless parade of cheese, cream, and carbohydrates. The restaurant's genius lies not in authenticity, but in understanding what Americans actually want when they claim to want Italian food. They want pasta swimming in rich, heavy sauces that would make a Roman chef weep. They want cheese grated until it forms small mountains on their plates. They want bread that arrives warm and unlimited, brushed with enough garlic butter to make you forget you're in a strip mall rather than a Tuscan hillside. Those infamous breadsticks deserve their own analysis. They're engineered for addiction: soft, warm, salty, and perpetually refilled. Most diners demolish 2 baskets before their entrees arrive, which is precisely the strategy. By the time that enormous bowl of chicken Alfredo hits your table, you're already approaching fullness, but the endless nature of everything keeps you eating well past satisfaction. It's brilliant psychological dining design, wrapped in the illusion of Italian hospitality. The house salad plays a supporting role in this theatrical performance. Crisp iceberg lettuce, a few vegetables, and that signature dressing that somehow tastes both tangy and creamy while coating everything in a slightly sweet embrace. Nobody goes to Olive Garden for the salad, but everyone eats it because it's unlimited and surprisingly addictive. It's the perfect palate cleanser between breadstick binges. The atmosphere works because it doesn't try too hard. Faux Tuscan walls, warm lighting, and vineyard murals create the suggestion of Italy without the pretense of authenticity. It's Italy as imagined by someone who's never been there but has very strong opinions about what it should feel like. The result is comfort over culture, familiarity over finesse. Critics mock Olive Garden, but they miss the point entirely. This isn't about fine dining or cultural representation. It's about reliable comfort food served in portions that guarantee leftovers. For families juggling tight budgets and picky eaters, Olive Garden delivers predictable satisfaction. For awkward first dates and casual friend gatherings, it provides a safe middle ground where nobody feels challenged by unusual flavors or intimidated by fancy presentations. Olive Garden succeeds because it promises exactly what it delivers: American abundance with an Italian accent. 5 Raising Cane's, the beautiful art of doing one thing perfectly. In an era where fast food chains desperately chase every trend and dietary fad, Raising Cane's has built an empire by refusing to diversify. Their menu reads like a haiku: chicken fingers, fries, toast, slaw, sauce, that's it. No burgers, no tacos, no plant-based alternatives, no seasonal specials designed by focus groups. Just fried chicken strips executed with obsessive precision. This radical simplicity creates something almost magical in fast food. Consistency that borders on the religious. Every Cane's chicken finger emerges golden brown with a crispy coating that actually adheres to the meat instead of sliding off in greasy sheets. The chicken itself is always fresh, never frozen, juicy and tender with that perfect bite that makes you understand why people drive hundreds of miles for their first Cane's experience. The supporting cast plays their roles flawlessly. Those crinkle-cut fries aren't trying to revolutionize potato preparation, they're engineered to be the perfect chicken finger companion. Hot, properly salted, and designed to hold up structurally when dunked in sauce. The Texas toast deserves special recognition as perhaps the most underrated element of the entire experience. Thick-cut bread, buttered on both sides, grilled until the edges achieve that perfect golden crispness while maintaining a pillowy interior. It's comfort food architecture at its finest. But the real mystique centers around Cane's sauce. This mysterious condiment has sparked more internet speculation than government conspiracies. Food bloggers dissect every ingredient. Reddit threads debate ratios of mayonnaise to ketchup to secret spices. The official recipe remains locked away. But the addiction is universal. Customers dip everything into it: chicken, fries, toast, and probably their napkins if nobody's watching. What sets Cane's apart isn't just the food quality, it's their complete resistance to menu bloat. While competitors chase trends with limited-time offers and seasonal experiments, Cane's steadfastly refuses to expand beyond their core mission. No pumpkin spice chicken in October, no healthier options to appease diet culture, no desperate attempts to appeal to every demographic. This focus creates something rare in corporate America: trust. When a new Cane's opens, the lines stretch for blocks. People plan road trips around Cane's locations. The brand has achieved cult status not through marketing gimmicks, but through the simple promise that every location will deliver exactly the same high-quality experience. In a world where consistency is increasingly rare, Raising Cane's has turned limitation into luxury. 4 Five Guys, where excess becomes excellence. Five Guys operates on a philosophy that would terrify most corporate efficiency experts. Give customers way more than they paid for and somehow make it profitable. Order a small fry and watch in amazement as they fill the cup, bury it in a bag, then dump an additional scoop on top until grease-stained paper threatens to disintegrate. It's wasteful, excessive, and absolutely brilliant. This over-the-top approach extends to every aspect of the Five Guys experience. Their burgers aren't Instagram-pretty constructions designed for social media. They're magnificent, messy disasters that require strategic planning to eat without destroying your clothes. The patties are cooked fresh from never-frozen beef, seared on a proper grill that imparts actual char flavors instead of the steamed disappointment served by most fast food chains. The unlimited toppings policy transforms every order into a personalized creation. Want jalapenos, mushrooms, grilled onions, raw onions, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, barbecue sauce, and hot sauce all piled onto one burger? Five Guys doesn't blink. While other chains nickel and dime customers for every additional topping, Five Guys includes everything because they'd rather err on the side of generosity than leave anyone feeling cheated. Transparency permeates the entire operation in ways that feel almost aggressive. Each location displays a chalkboard announcing exactly which farms supplied today's potatoes, not some vague Pacific Northwest designation, but specific farms with actual names. The kitchen operates in full view, so you hear every burger hit the grill and smell the onions caramelizing. They hand out free peanuts while you wait, because why not add another layer of abundance to the experience? The aesthetic deliberately rejects modern restaurant design trends. Red and white checkered tiles, basic lighting, minimal decoration. It's deliberately unpretentious. The focus remains entirely on the food preparation happening behind the counter. This isn't a place trying to create ambiance or Instagram moments. It's a burger joint that happens to make exceptional burgers. Yes, Five Guys costs more than typical fast food. A complete meal can approach sit-down restaurant prices, but the value proposition feels honest rather than exploitative. You're paying premium prices for premium ingredients prepared without shortcuts. The portions are generous enough to guarantee leftovers, and the quality justifies the expense. When you leave Five Guys, you feel satisfied rather than ripped off, an increasingly rare sensation in modern dining. Five Guys proves that sometimes the best business strategy is simply refusing to compromise on quality, even when excess seems economically irrational. 3. Chick-fil-A, the Sunday scarcity success story. Chick-fil-A has cracked a code that most fast food chains can't even comprehend, making customers feel genuinely valued while serving fundamentally simple food. This isn't about revolutionary menu innovations or price wars. It's about creating an experience so consistently pleasant that people develop genuine emotional connections to a chicken sandwich restaurant. The famous "my pleasure" response isn't just corporate-mandated politeness. It represents a cultural commitment that permeates every interaction. Employees maintain genuine warmth even during rush periods when other chain staff would be visibly frazzled. The drive-thru operation deserves study at business schools. Teams with tablets take orders while you're still 3 cars back. Runners deliver food with remarkable accuracy, and somehow the longest lines move faster than shorter queues at competing restaurants. Their menu philosophy runs counter to industry trends toward endless options. While competitors bloat their offerings with breakfast pizzas, plant-based experiments, and seasonal gimmicks, Chick-fil-A has perfected a handful of items. The original chicken sandwich achieves something remarkable: consistency across thousands of locations. The chicken emerges crispy without greasiness, the bun stays soft and warm, and those pickle slices provide the exact tartness needed to elevate simple ingredients into something craveable. Waffle fries represent another masterclass in focused execution. The waffle design isn't just aesthetic. Those pockets hold sauce perfectly, creating optimal flavor distribution with every bite. The fries maintain structural integrity, whether you're dunking them in Chick-fil-A sauce or using them as vehicles for their legendary frosted lemonade. But Chick-fil-A's boldest move remains their Sunday closure policy. In an industry obsessed with maximizing revenue, voluntarily sacrificing an entire day of sales seems like corporate suicide. Instead, it's become psychological marketing genius. Scarcity creates desire, and that weekly absence makes Monday's return feel like an event. The policy also signals values beyond profit maximization, building customer loyalty that transcends transactional relationships. The chain proves that excellence in execution beats innovation every time. They're not the cheapest, fastest, or most creative option, but they consistently deliver an experience that leaves customers feeling respected rather than processed. In fast food's race to the bottom, Chick-fil-A chose to compete on dignity, and it's working spectacularly. 2. Shake Shack. When fast food grows up, Shake Shack transformed from a humble hot dog cart in Madison Square Park into a global phenomenon by answering a question nobody knew they were asking: what if fast food didn't have to feel like settling? Their success lies in proving that quick service and quality aren't mutually exclusive concepts. Every Shake Shack location feels deliberately designed rather than efficiently assembled. Warm lighting, modern aesthetics, and thoughtful architectural details create spaces that encourage lingering rather than rushing. It's fast food that doesn't apologize for existing, environments where you'd feel comfortable conducting a business meeting or celebrating a date night. The food justifies the elevated atmosphere through obsessive attention to ingredient quality. Their Shack Burger uses 100% Angus beef formed into patties daily, never frozen, cooked on flat-top grills that create proper searing. The potato buns aren't afterthoughts. They're soft, slightly sweet, and sturdy enough to contain generous portions without disintegrating. Shack sauce strikes the perfect balance between tangy and creamy, complex enough to complement rather than mask the beef's flavor. Even their vegetarian options demonstrate serious culinary consideration. The Shroom Burger features a crispy fried portobello mushroom stuffed with melted cheese that oozes dramatically when bitten. It's not a reluctant accommodation for non-meat eaters, it's a thoughtfully crafted dish that carnivores often order alongside their regular burgers. The famous crinkle-cut fries tell their own story about understanding customer psychology. When Shake Shack briefly switched to fresh-cut fries, customer backlash forced them to reverse course. Those ridged cuts aren't just nostalgic, they're functionally superior for sauce dipping and shake dunking, activities that define the complete Shake Shack experience. Their concrete custard shakes deserve particular recognition. Made with real sugar and dairy rather than artificial mixes, they achieve thickness that requires actual effort to consume through a straw. Seasonal flavor rotations create anticipation and repeat visits, turning dessert into destination dining. Yes, Shake Shack costs significantly more than traditional fast food. A complete meal can approach casual dining prices, but the value proposition feels honest rather than exploitative. You're paying for ingredients that cost more, preparation that takes longer, and an experience that acknowledges your humanity rather than treating you as a processing unit. Shake Shack proved that fast food could grow up without losing its soul. One finds Texas Roadhouse, the celebration of American abundance. Texas Roadhouse claims the top spot not because it serves the most sophisticated food, but because it perfectly embodies what makes American dining culture unique: the belief that meals should be events, portions should be generous, and restaurants should feel like celebrations rather than transactions. This isn't just dinner, it's dinner theater where everyone's invited to the show. The atmosphere hits you immediately. Country music provides the soundtrack while servers periodically break into choreographed line dances that somehow feel genuinely enthusiastic rather than corporate mandated. Peanut shells litter the floor by design, creating tactile feedback that signals permission to relax completely. The noise level would horrify fine dining purists, but it creates an environment where conversations flow freely and inhibitions disappear. Those legendary warm rolls with cinnamon honey butter represent American comfort food perfection. They arrive steaming hot, pillowy soft, and paired with butter that achieves the ideal balance between sweet and savory. Most diners demolish an entire basket before their entrees arrive, and servers happily provide refills without judgment. It's abundance without apology, generosity that feels genuine rather than calculated. The stakes justify the restaurant's reputation through consistent execution across hundreds of locations. Every cut receives hand trimming on site, generous seasoning, and grilling that respects your temperature preferences. The meat arrives juicy, flavorful, and sized to satisfy even the most ambitious appetites. These aren't delicate portions designed for Instagram. They're substantial servings meant to create satisfaction that lingers hours later. Side dishes embrace comfort food traditions with remarkable execution. Mashed potatoes arrive creamy and buttery. Green beans taste like they were prepared in an actual kitchen rather than reheated from bags. And loaded baked potatoes require structural engineering to consume. Everything screams hearty, honest, and designed to create lasting satisfaction. The pricing strategy seals Texas Roadhouse's victory. Despite the generous portions, lively atmosphere, and consistent quality, the final bill remains surprisingly reasonable. Families can dine well without financial anxiety. Couples can celebrate without budgeting stress, and groups can gather without someone getting stuck with an astronomical check. Texas Roadhouse succeeds because it understands something many chains have forgotten. Restaurants exist to create happiness, not just deliver calories. They've built an empire on the radical notion that dining out should feel like a reward rather than a compromise. In an industry increasingly focused on efficiency over experience, Texas Roadhouse chose joy, and that's why it claims the crown.